Hi, this video has been a long time coming, I know, but what a perfect time than Pride Month to get this done. And that's my HRT progress so far. Because not only is it Pride Month, but I've also just realized I've reached my 1.5 year anniversary of starting HRT. Way fireworks editor. That also means that my endocrinologist has also allowed me to start progesterone officially today. So I have no idea what the effects have. So I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to summarize um, all my experiences so far and all the changes that I have noticed so far with just estrogen and spironolactic, like spiro, this thing. God damn it, stupid names. So let's kick things off with sensors. In general, I've noticed that since starting, my senses have slightly changed, especially sight in a funny way and smell. When it comes to sight, I feel like I do perceive the world a little bit more colorful. In the sense of, I feel like I can differentiate similar colors to each other way better than I used to, and also, and when it comes to smell, I've noticed my nose has become way more sensitive. Christ, I'm becoming German. And when it comes to smell, I've noticed my nose has become way more sensitive when picking up smells, which is really nice when you go into a Lush or somewhere else like that. But it's not so nice when one of your cats just took a massive dump and you walk into the flat and just smell. Okay, yeah, who who hasn't buried their shit properly? Yeah. But yeah, overall, really happy with those changes. Another thing when it comes to also like sensors in a feeling thing, I've noticed my experience of temperature has changed since a pre-transition. Pre-transition me could easily go out at 10 degrees Celsius outside in a t-shirt and short trousers and could be completely fine with that or get through the day more or less with that. I've completely lost that cold resistance. It's gone. If anything, there's already slight indication that I might have a cold vulnerability at this point. So basically, in short, um, I my ideal temperature for outside has definitely shifted into more the warmer temperatures. I so far we've had a couple of warm days and previously, and I've haven't been as suffering as much as I used to, which is kind of also a little bit of a nice change. And to be honest, I also prefer it that way because when it gets hot, there's always a limit to how much you can uh, take off. Whereas when it gets cold, you can always put on more layers. So having your ideal temperature range shift a little bit into the warmer temperatures is ideal. And now to another point, and this was really important for me when starting, and officially no longer an emotional black hole. Uh, I find it way more, I'm definitely become way more empathetic. I have way more emotional depth. I pre-transition, it felt like I was just an emotional black hole, had zero feelings, and kind of went through life um, almost as a zombie. Maybe not like mindless. I still a great mind, but just emotion wise, basically a blank slate. And yeah, that's completely gone. I cry regularly. Uh, Basically, anyone who's been tuning into the streams, for example, with Clay Obscure, Christ, one of those scenes kicked me in the stomach, and yeah. Um, but I absolutely love that. I wouldn't change this for the world. I love being being emotional and yeah, being able to express myself a little bit more when it comes to that, and also at the same time also experience or be able to show more joy when I really enjoy stuff. So yeah, um, now to a little bit more like physical stuff, and let's start off with like skin and hair. When it comes to hair, I feel like my hair has become way better. I Before transitioning, I had already been growing out my hair a little bit, a little bit. It was already pretty long at that point, and it still kind of was hard to manage. It was a mess at times, and it had a little bit of a mind of its own, and had kind of like a bushy nature to it. Um, Really cool for, I think, 80s vibes, but only for that. Um, I maybe it's also through the whole hair care routine and skincare routine that I've acquired also since starting transitioning and so on, but that's become definitely way more manageable and way better. When it comes to skin, it's so much more softer. Um, this probably also ties into the next segment where we'll be talking about the body fat redistribution, as everyone calls it. But yeah, my skin has become so much smoother, softer, clearer. Um, yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful there. Yeah, no complaints. 10 out of 10 would do again. Um, yeah, so I've already teased it, and yeah, this is probably going to be the bigger part of the video, and that's going to be physical changes. And the biggest change is going to be in the like body fat distribution, redistribution department. Um, well, here I would like to also start off with a small clarification. When I started transitioning, I was plus size, without a doubt. Or and kind of kept that weight for or stayed at that weight for a good year of the transition. Um, and only at the start of this year, I have been steadily losing weight up until now. I have lost around 15 kilos, maybe even a little bit more now, and getting close to like my goal. But so keep in mind that the last 6 months I've basically been losing quite a bit of weight. So this might be a really good insight for any of the chubby adults out there that are trying to find out what kind of impact this HRT can have when also losing weight. I definitely have noticed quite a bit of difference with my body and so on. I know my face shape has definitely changed. I put a slightly puffier cheeks and so on, a little bit more emphasized jawline and so on. But yeah, it's hard. This is kind of like a summary of the effects of a full year of feeding into the HRT by just eating normally, and then half a year of basically starving myself and losing the weight. So yeah. However, over the whole body and so on, I have still noticed changes. I I do notice in a proportion that my thighs seem to have gotten thicker and also more womanly shaped, which is really nice. Um, and definitely boobs department. Yeah. On top of that, what I think the major thing is with losing weight that I have noticed so far is the weight kind of was even more or less evenly distributed. I mean, a lot of it still kind of in my stomach and so on. But when I was losing weight, a lot of it went kind of away from like the masculine areas, and that's the first place it's been just falling off basically. To the point that it's really hard to even keep track of my progress on that front because I have no idea what is from losing weight and what's from the HRT and just changing shape. But overall, to emphasize also the fact how HRT makes that when you're losing weight, you're just really losing from uh, masculine places. The first thing to go was my band size, which meant my band size shrunk immensely. I think I'd lost uh, around 10 centimeters. I hope I measured that correctly at the time, um, which is insane. And also, when looking at boobs, the smaller the band size is, the bigger the boobs appear. So it's a double whammy. This is really um, uh, massive benefit. Fuck. Editing's over. Post me slam meme here to emphasize the point. There, done. Uh, okay, yeah. Um, yeah, yeah, so I think I will probably move over to the boost part. And initially I thought from losing weight, especially in the last 6 months and so on, that there wouldn't be too much growth there. And well, the most important thing to know with when growing boobs and so on is that it comes in waves. You will have a couple of weeks that your boobs are feeling really sore and that they hurt, and then they might even get a little bit in the way and so on. And you really notice, oh yeah, they are growing. And then you'll have months where nothing's happening. It literally comes in waves. Give it time. Um, they are doing their magic. HRT is doing its magic. Just trust the process. Trust the process, and it's going fine. And even when you're kind of losing weight, which absolutely surprised me, because I think 2 weeks ago, uh, one of those like wave cycles started again, and I've really noticed how especially when turning around over in bed, that I noticed how my boobs would get more in the way, and I just had to readjust like my movements a little bit to accommodate to them. So yeah, they are really coming along nicely. I still haven't quite figured out if I can expect whether I have more of my mother's genes or the genes that my sister somehow got, um, which probably wouldn't have resulted in a big difference when it comes to size in the end, but um, still definitely a difference. So yeah, I still haven't quite figured out which body shape I'm probably going to take after, but yeah, definitely when said that skin becoming softer, 10 out of 10, this is at least a 15 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. Love just kind of fondling them in the chat. Maybe we should move on, or otherwise I might get demonetized, and don't want this small streamer giving hopefully informational info about HRT getting demonetized so quickly. So yeah, I think a last part that I want to kind of go in is about sexuality, because it does get talked about. I've heard plenty of uh, trans women saying that through HRT their sexuality has changed. Either they've developed an interest into men or otherwise, and some just stay a gold star lesbian, which is completely fine, and I absolutely support you. With me, there was a slightly different change which I hadn't heard before, and that's before transitioning. I identified myself as a demi ace. I needed a strong emotional connection with someone to even feel a slight hint of sexual attraction to that person. I kind of on a borderline between completely ace and demi ace, with just being open to the deed. Uh, yeah. Um, But when it came to like romantic interest, I had already a good inkling that I was probably pan, uh, because I had before transitioning already shown signs see some men being attractive. Well, interestingly enough, through HRT, and I can officially, I'm pretty sure say it now, is I'm definitely no longer ace or asexual anyway. Um, and I'm most definitely pan. I think the biggest moment of realization of that I had was in the last year when sitting in class, and one of these student, he walked up and was presenting something, and I looked at him, and my first thought was, yes, I would definitely um I finally understand what allosexuals experience. And yeah, that was kind of the wake up call. Oh, yeah, I'm just pan. I just love everyone. Yeah. Additionally, also started to notice when reading more and more smut and also dark romance books that I've also been sharing a little bit in the Discord. If you aren't in the Discord, I don't know what you're doing, or on Blue Sky, is that these romance scenes, especially the smut scenes, they have like a bodily impact. You girls who know, you know. Um, but definitely, even like phrases that are such as "good girl," "kitten," or something very similar. Christ, I can easily be manipulated. It's kind of scary, but also hot. But yeah, um, and I'm pretty sure that's also new. Uh, but yeah, my hypothesis is in general, the more comfortable I feel in my body, the more I feel like being a little bit more frisky. So yeah, I think those are the main parts that I wanted to talk about. But I also have a small like summary and bonus segment. I've written that in the script, but overall way more confident, and also having so much fun with experimenting with styles, dressing up. I i i love planning out the day when I get up and thinking, okay, I'm meeting these and these friends, for example, for D&D. I'm playing this character. Okay, which dress am I going to be putting on? What kind of makeup do I want? Which kind of eyeliner should I use? Should I use the blue one? Should I use the black one? And so on and so forth, just to mix and match and try things out. And yeah, having so much fun with that. And it's amazing just being able to experiment with the styles. And yeah, socially, also, I've noticed there's kind of also a different. I kind of have the privilege in the sense of that I pass. I haven't been misgendered for a while. Yeah, I think the biggest indicator of that was when at the con a photographer wanted to take a picture of our group and so on. Um, the photographer correctly gendered me completely normal and so on. And then one of my really close friends comes up to me and so on. Hey, it was really cool, and cool that that guy instantly gendered you correctly and so on. And y- yeah, and that was the moment I kind of also realized, hey, um, this is already slowly normal to me, and which is great, which is really great, and it's awesome. Have also a little bit along those lines also noticed, for example, when I did train, a lot more people would smile at me more often, or otherwise, what is also still a little bit off-putting is people stare at me when walking on the street, which is weird. Trust me, it's absolutely weird, but also kind of confirming to just know people think I'm hot. So yeah, or just nice eye candy. Regardless, I'm just happy to be here. Um, yeah, I think to maybe the final point, because this is something I'm still learning or trying to work with, because I often have like the mindset, oh, it has to be negative and so on. When people are looking at you, it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be, oh yeah, you botched your makeup or you're clocky or whatever. It can also just be you're a hot individual, you slay, go out there, queen, and people are just appreciating your confidence and aura that you are, and your vibe that you are passing on. So be less harsh on yourself. That was kind of a long video. I hope it's not too rambly. I think, yeah, editing Zora will say here how much of a pain it was to edit. But regardless, thank you for joining. Yeah, I know it's been a long time I haven't uploaded or in general, but yeah, I'm hoping to get to it a little bit more often. Happy Pride. Go out there, be gay, do crimes, do not sue me. I also have nothing to do with any crime. Just, but yeah, blend in a disclaimer here. Thank you. I cannot be I cannot be held accountable for any crimes committed. But yeah, enjoy. Hope this was informational. I'm planning on doing a video then probably in around 3 months to update on like my experience with progesterone, which I'm going to be starting tomorrow, as from the time of recording. And take care, be nice, and rolls those nat 20s, you kings and queens. Bye bye.